Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to episode 18, season 2 of the Prosperous Yogini Podcast, our November episode. So before I dive into today's topic, I just want to say a big heartfelt thanks for the response from last month's episode. If you haven't had a chance to dive into October's episode and listening to the way that I'm talking right now, I have decided to drop down the frequencies of podcast episodes to just one a month. There are a few reasons for that. One, business is growing, and I really want to dedicate my time to my paying clients as much as possible and prioritize them. Also, just family life and just needing to be there a little bit more for my daughter. Just cut back on my workload where possible, and it was a really tough decision. But yeah, the Prosperous Yogini podcast isn't going anywhere, but it would just be one episode a month from here on in, my darling. If you did want to have me in your earbuds every week, you can. You need to join my Substack. I turn up for my Substack community every week with a video. The last 3 weeks have been insanely powerful. I've done how to make more money now, how to grow more money into your business by building out your offer suite, and I've literally just recorded flash sale, how to utilize Black Friday, which is coming up. You can't get these videos for free. They are behind a paywall, but guess what? It's only £4.40 a month, or £44 for the year. I'm not asking for a lot for the energy exchange for the weekly video, but I am asking for something. I'm asking you to come on in on the energy exchange. When we exchange money, when we commit to something by paying, we commit and show up differently. And that's another reason. Like, the free stuff only gets you so far, and it's my absolute pleasure to support you for free. But I know the transformation will come when you part with some cash, and that is another reason why I've dropped back from the amount of free stuff that I've been giving in my business. Anyway, today I'm giving you an episode for free. This has been something I have wanted to talk about probably all year. If you don't know, and I'm sure you do know because I've shared it on my email list a few times and on social media, back in January this year of 2024, I signed up to Lucy Sheridan's New Era Mastermind. Actually, I signed up to the mastermind in December, mid-December, 2 weeks before Christmas 2023. Now, what I haven't spoken about is how much this mastermind costs and why I did it. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. The mastermind was 10 grand, £10,000. Now, I have never, ever invested that sum of money in my business before. I have worked with business coaches and I have worked one-to-one with people in my business. I think it's utterly essential that you have someone to support you in your business. I just would never do it alone. And that's one of the challenges we have. But really, up until that point, I'd done what I'm sure many of you are on this journey of, like, working in a group program environment. So that's at a lower price point. I had a wonderful coach, Ruth Gilby, who I worked with for 2 years. And she was around the 2 to 3K mark for her package. And then I've been in Lucy Sheridan's world since 2020. I every year religiously do her incredible social media course, which this year is in its last one, the Good to Grow. So I'd known Lucy and been in her world since 2020. And I had told myself at the end of 2023 that I was going to work with Lucy one-to-one in 2024. And I'd signed up to her Good to Grow, and I'd gone in at the full price. So I had a one-to-one call with her. And I had this one-to-one call with her late November, and told her where I was in my business, which was at the time in November 2023, just Amy Yoga. I'd say just Amy Yoga. But beneath the surface, I was being called to do more. I loved my yoga business. I still love my yoga business. I love my yoga teacher training. But I was like, listen, I've got this business mentoring program that I do with yoga teachers, and it's really good. And what's happening in it is amazing. But the thing is, the stuff I know can help way, way, way beyond yoga teachers. Not just this, at this point, people who weren't yoga teachers were coming to me saying, look, I don't want to join your Prosperous Yogini mentorship program because that's for yoga teachers. Like, what else do you have in your business, Amy? How can I work with you? And at the time, I'm like, oh, I don't know, but something's coming. And I had no idea what this something was. Also, I was like petrified. I was like, oh my God, I'm being told to do some other stuff. I don't want anyone to think that I don't want to be Amy Yoga anymore. Like, I've had the domain name www.amyyoga.com since 2009. 2009. Like, I was like, I think I should change my name by default to Amy Yoga. Look, everyone knows me as Amy Yoga. I know me as Amy Yoga. Yeah, I want to do something out of the yoga world, out of the yoga, just business mentoring for yoga teachers, training for yoga teachers. I want to do stuff away from that. Yes, yoga teachers are going to benefit from this work, but I want my mission, the hollering of my heart is saying something much bigger. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. I want to help, and I'm still here now, like 12 months on. I really do feel like my mission is to help women do what lights them up, work in energetically more aligned ways, and make more money. Because the more I see on the news, like war, the more I'm like, if money was evenly distributed between men and women, I don't think we'd spend our money on war. And yeah, we can blame the patriarchy, we can say things are unfair and they're not going to change. Well, that's what we will experience if we say these things. If we say, listen, I'm done. The power to change is within me, and it ain't easy. I know that, but women have so much to bring to the world. We've got to work in energetic ways that align for us through motherhood, should we have children, through our cycles, through the perimenopausal, menopausal stages of our life and beyond. And the Prosperous Yogini mentorship program had taught me all of this. And at the end of 2023, I'm like, I said to Lucy, Lucy, I feel like I'm ready for more. I'm meant for more, but I'm just too scared to say it. And that's why I wanted to work with a one-to-one. So Lucy was like, okay. She's like, I am launching a new mastermind. There is a wait list, and I'd seen the wait list, but I hadn't wanted to put my name on it because I was like, I didn't want Lucy to think I was stalking her, because I, joined the Good to Grow, had our one-to-one call with her, She's like, I'll send you the details. And I was at the time, I was like, I know I'm not going to be able to afford it, but yeah, please send me the details. And along it comes, and the early bird price was 10 grand, right? I did not have 10 grand. But everything when I was like, I imagined saying no to Lucy, and I imagined saying yes, and saying no just wasn't even possible. Every fiber of my being, every time I got quiet, every time I asked for guidance, every time I thought about it, every time I visualized it, I'm getting goosebumps now. I was like, I have to do this. And it wasn't just about business. It wasn't just about business. So Lucy Sheridan's mastermind is called New Era. She's so brilliant. It's just like, it was talking to me. I was like, yeah, I want to move into a new era where I'm bringing in this new element of my business, but keeping the Amy Yoga alive, keeping these training courses that I love to do and help me to support my mission in helping women do what lights them up and make money. It's just like, not everyone wants to do yoga teacher training, and not everyone's a yoga teacher, but I've got something else to give, but I don't want to let the Amy Yoga go. So I had the first payment. I opted for the payment plan. I had the first payment and I signed up. And I said to my husband, I didn't tell him how much it was. He knows now. I said, babes, and I did say this to him before I signed up, babes, I really need to do something in my business. It's a bit of a risk. I'm committing to a large sum of money, but I just know it's the right thing. Are you all right with it? My husband is so supportive, and he's like, yeah, whatever, just don't tell me, go for it. So I had the first payment of £1,500, and I went for it. I absolutely went for it. Now, I have nobody but one friend in my world that I felt I could tell and would understand that I just committed to a 10 grand mastermind. And she was brilliant. She was like, "Oh, I pay £1,500 a month to be in my mastermind. Amy, it'd be the best thing you ever done, you ever do." But I literally told nobody else. Like my husband didn't know, just my friend knew. And it felt like a bit like a dirty secret. I'm like, this is it with money. I was like, why? Why am I worried about this? And like, even I kept it really, really secret. And then obviously, when I went public with it, even then I was like, wow, people are going to unfollow me. And you know what? A couple of people were a bit funny with me. And this is the wacky relationship that we have with money. How can she afford to work on Lucy Sheridan's mastermind? That is it. Women actually sometimes attack other women, but that's the story for another day. Let me stick with the podcast. Let me stick with the podcast topic of joining a mastermind. So it wasn't just for business. There were personal reasons as well. Like we all have been impacted differently by COVID. And prior to COVID, my kids were like 5 and 7. And I'd left them a few instances to get out of county, to get out of Cornwall, but not really. And they're older now. And I was like, I haven't left Cornwall without my family. I haven't left Cornwall without my family. And Lucy Sheridan's mastermind required me to visit Birmingham. And you're going to laugh. Like, for those of you in the centre of the country right now, you're like, Amy, what? Birmingham? Okay, hang on. Edinburgh, London, and the Peak District where Lucy lives. Now listen, guys, okay, I'm just traveling within the UK, nothing major, but it felt big. It felt big to leave Cornwall. It felt big to leave my family. And nowhere is easy to get to in Cornwall. I drove to Birmingham, and like, listen, we don't have motorways in Cornwall. We just have dual carriageway. Like, I'm happy down a single track road. Take me down a single track road all day long. I am happy to do that. That don't bother me. Put me on a motorway where there's 3+ lanes. I have no idea what's going on anymore. Like, I don't drive on motorways in Cornwall. I'm like, I've got to be able to do this stuff, or my world is just getting small, so small, particularly because I'm working so much online. So I drove to Birmingham, I trained it to Edinburgh, and I discovered my love of trains. So the journey from Cornwall to Edinburgh is 10 hours. And you might be like, Amy, how did you spend 10 hours on the train? I had like the best 10 hours of my life. You've got to plan for it. I do lots of work, bit of reading, like earbuds in, podcasts, make sure you've got plenty of food and drink. Just accept the time that you're on the train. Try not to have a change. And train journeys are the best journeys ever. I had the best time of my life in Edinburgh. I want to just say Edinburgh trip was life-changing for me. London, I felt all right going to London. By this point now, like, yeah, well, I've been to Edinburgh, I can go anywhere. London was fine, and I know my way around London, having been there, grown up around that area. And then Whaley Bridge, Whaley Bridge was a bit of a mission to get to. Interestingly, that was the hardest one to get to, Peak District, because it wasn't direct. But I got there and I got stuck in Whaley Bridge. The trains got cancelled. I spent an extra night in my gorgeous Airbnb. I found the most amazing shop in Whaley Bridge and got a whole wardrobe for under £200. Like, I've had the best time. That aside, I've also met people that I would never normally meet from across the country, a small group of people that I wouldn't normally encounter, all from different walks of life. Yeah, these are lifelong friends and lifelong connections that I've made. And I have a new business. So alongside Amy Yoga, there's my Amy Jones Mentor. I have officially stepped out as someone who does business mentoring for female service-based entrepreneurs. And definitely, I think getting out of Cornwall, working in person has made me realize, as much as the online world is amazing and that aspect of my business, is here to stay, that integrating the in-person as well is where the magic happens, where you've got the flexibility of the online, but there's these in-person meetups where, you know, the energy is just so different. I made my money back. I absolutely made my money back. And it is to date the best decision that I've made. Now, I was ready to make this decision. So you might be like, Amy, I cannot imagine ever spending 10 grand on a course. And I hear you, and that might not be right for you. There were lots of reasons. I hope you can hear from a personal perspective why I did this. And the universe wanted me to do this. The universe wanted me to meet these people. Now, you can imagine how nervous I was meeting these people, because I imagine I was signing up to a course where everyone was like, you know, earning mega bucks and had all of their shit together. And what was so beautiful is when we sat in this room together in Birmingham, we realized we were all there for the same reason. We all had to sign up for this mastermind, but none of us knew really why. We all had the strongest guidance ever, getting goosebumps, to do it, but none of us really knew why. It was really, really magic. And there has been some insane magic moments as part of this mastermind. We do call ourselves the witches. But I wanted to say, if any of the witches are listening to this podcast episode, or Lucy listens to it, you guys have changed my life. And I'm so grateful for all of you coming into my life. And it has taught me that anything is possible. It has taught me that if I'm like, right, I need to make this sum of money, that when I have a goal and I reverse engineer it, like, I know this is what I teach you guys, like, I know, but when I have a goal and I reverse engineer it, when it's like I say in my household, if no buts, no coconuts, it's got to happen, that I can generate that income, that I can make any sum of money that I am energetically willing to line myself up to. Honestly, it has just opened the door to possibility for me. I truly believe anything is possible. And it not connected to the mastermind, but I got on a plane to Switzerland to run a yin training course in September. And that's the first time I've ever flown alone. So I've not just been to Birmingham, Edinburgh, Whaley Bridge and London this year by myself. I've also flown to Switzerland. It doesn't seem big, I know, to lots of you, but to me, who's never left her children and not left county since the lockdown, you know, or we went to Devon and on holiday together. We've been to other places. I have left Cornwall, but not without my family in tow. I just want you to, and the parents amongst us, do you know what I really learned about when I went to the Birmingham trip? Like, driving in the car by yourself is actually quite pleasurable. So why am I telling you today about my mastermind? Well, one, I wanted to share that with you. I feel like, not like it's been a dirty secret, but I really just wanted to say, look, I invested 10K in a mastermind and it was the best decision I ever made. I was ready for it in my business. Okay. It doesn't mean you need to do that to be successful. Okay. But I want you to practice being really happy for me that that's what's happened to me this year. And I want it to be that my experiences are leading the way for you for what is possible. Okay. What is you are desiring and what is meant for you is different for me, right? Then off the back of the experience of this mastermind, and since sort of, when has it been? Yeah, since May this year, I've had a discrete one-to-one offer. So I've been working in, like, I've called it my expansion program. It's been a 4-month program, and I've actually worked with 8 people one-to-one this year. And it's been brilliant. And there's been a couple of reasons why I've always held back from one-to-one. One, I didn't believe people would pay the price of working with one-to-one, and that was silly because I've worked with 8 people this year. 2, I told myself I don't really like working one-to-one. I do thrive in a group environment. And actually, I've realized I really do like working one-to-one when people are ready to work with me one-to-one and there's that vibe off each other. I love that. But as I draw to the end of the year, I'm like, okay, I've had real success with my one-to-one clients. Like, they've all made their money back many times over. And I leave them in that place where they can continue. So I've had real success with my one-to-one clients, but I won't lie, I am bloody good at programs, group courses, working in the group. And the other thing that I've been doing this year is creating in-person events. I won't lie, they're really fucking good too. And I'm like, okay, I've got these skills. And I do love the group, and I do love having a program, and I do love bringing people together, but I get really good results working with people one-to-one. So I am going to do my own mastermind. It is not a 10K mastermind, first of all, so please don't stop listening to today's episode. Your Purpose Mastermind is going to be a 5-month mastermind for only 8 people. In the show notes, it's going to be a wait list. It's really important you put your name on that wait list, okay? It is going to involve 2 trips down to Cornwall, just day trips, and I've already booked the Headland Hotel in UK, and we will be going to the Aqua Spa for our first in-person business retreat day in February. The reason why I feel compelled to do a mastermind, because of my experience of investing at a price point that was clearly possible for me, but felt bloody scary, okay? And the incredible impact that has had on my life and my business. Like, I now want to bring that type of offer into my business, okay? Don't panic, it's not going to be 10K. I am still, as I record this episode today, I am still pricing things up. There is going to be a 10-month payment plan, a 5-month payment plan, and a pay in full. And it is, I am very, very aware of the price point of my audience. But for those of you, right, who are ready to go, right, who've been in business for a while and feel like you are meant for more, okay, and you have some excessive turnover, or you're willing to make the money and invest in working with me, then your name needs to go on this wait list, okay, to join my mastermind. There are only 8 places, and I'm bringing the energy of my experiences this year into this course. So I really, and like, the price that it's going to be this year will be its lowest price ever as well. So it's super important that you put your name on the wait list. I'm not revealing the price because I want to be like, oh, yeah, I'll get you in the wait list and then trick you. I'm still pricing things up. That's the genuine truth. But please put your name on that wait list. When it's all priced up and there's a sales page, I'll be sending it to the wait list first of all. If it's not for you, that's cool. All right, that's just the deal. It all ties into this. My word for 2024, which I haven't revealed, and I'm not going to reveal. I'm going to end today's podcast on a cliffhanger. I will reveal my word for 2024 in December's episode, and use December's episode for a bit of like setting our words, reviewing the year, setting the word for 2025 and what my word for 2024 has meant. I think it's like, be careful what you wish for is all I'm going to say. All right, my darling. So if you're interested in working with me closely, one-to-one for a period of 5 months, and you like the idea of being part of a small group or working towards the same goal, coming to hang out with me a couple of times in Cornwall as well, pop your name on the wait list for Your Purpose Mastermind. And it's a mastermind type thing. I can't think of any other name. I've been reluctant to use the word mastermind because it's not mega expensive, okay? And then you can also check out amyjonesmentor.com for all my other current offers and in-person events, as well as online courses, or head over to Amy Yoga. I've got 2 businesses. I get confused. Amy Jones Mentor is where all the business stuff lives, and then amyyoga.com for all my yoga teacher training courses. Okay, my darlings, I'm looking so forward to being back with you in December. If you're like, Amy, I cannot wait until December to hear your voice, look, the answer is £4.40 a month, the cost of a takeaway coffee. Okay, you get weekly video advice from me in my Substack. I would love to see you in that community. Link is in the show notes. And otherwise, I will see you all next month in December, where I will be revealing my word of 2024.